This is the Go book. We're in chapter 3 of Word, and we're doing project 3B, which means I'm on page 256. So we're going to do a newsletter here. We've already started Word, and I've actually got a blank document open, so I'm going to have to do a file open here to get to the file that we want. And I want to go to computer, and I want to go to desktop, and I want to go to CSC110 and W3, and this is 3B, environment newsletter. So let's see, environment newsletter, there it is. Open that up. And as usual, we want the formatting marks visible, we want the ruler visible, and that probably will come up automatically for you. And make sure you enable editing if necessary. And there's the formatting marks, and the ruler again is on the view tab. Let's go back to home. So select first paragraph, University Medical Center. And I'm sorry, actually this is technically the first paragraph. On the mini toolbar, change the font to Arial Black and the font size to 18. So let me select that, and now the mini toolbar comes up, and I want it to be Arial Black and 18. So let's do 18 first, and then go down here, and on the A's, Arial Black. There we go. And select the first two paragraphs, the title and the volume information and date. So select both of those. And on the mini toolbar, we want the font, and we want the fifth column, the last one. So let's go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the last one, which is a dark blue. With the text still selected, on the home tab in the paragraph group, click the borders button, and we want borders and shading. So let's go to borders and shading. That lets us customize. And we want the same color we had before, which is this one. And we want the width arrow to be 3 points, so it's kind of a fat one. And we want this on the bottom. And click on OK, and now it kind of separated the headline information from the body of the document. Below the volume information, click at the beginning of the paragraph that begins with University Medical Center continues, and by scrolling, scroll to view the lower portion of the document, and hold down Shift and select everything at the end of the paragraph that begins electronic medical records. So I'm going to click here, and we want to go all the way. How far are we going here? Click after the paragraph that begins electronic medical records, which is this one right here. I just did the Shift key and the down arrow to select all that. And the sentence ending with the word space. Okay, so sure that the paragraph mark is included in the selection, and it is. And so now we're on number 9 on page 257. We want to go to the page layout tab, and in the page setup group over here, we want 2 columns. So go to columns here and choose 2, and everything that I just selected now becomes 2 columns. And save your newsletter. I think I missed a line about changing the name of it. I did. Do a file, save as, and same folder. We're not going to do a new folder or anything. And on the beginning, instead of W0 here, I want last name, first name, and click on save. Now, if we go back here and look at our document, Word has divided our document into 3 sections. If you want to use columns, more than one column in part of your document has to be a section all by itself. So this, from this part here all the way down to right here, is section 2. Below that is section 3. You can see there's a section break here. We've got a problem with the section break up here. You can't really see it because we're all the way over to the end of the line here. Now, if I were to take January here, and let's try moving it to the left a little bit, you would see, and you can't really tell, there you go. Now it says section break. So there's a section break. If they're at the end of the line like that, they may be very difficult to see. I'm going to undo that change I made. And I don't know if you can see this on the video or not, but there's just a couple of little dots after the paragraph mark there. And that's not real easy to see. But if you know that dividing a document into multiple columns for one part and leaving it in one column for the other parts divides it into sections, then you will know that this part is one section. Everything from here down to the end of the 2 columns is another section, and then this is a third section. So we now have a 3-section document. That's the only way you can do columns, by the way, is you have to divide your document up into sections. Okay, now we're on the top of page 258, and we want our 2 columns of text selected, which I have unselected. So let's go back there. And in the paragraph group, we want to change the spacing after to 6 points instead of 8, and that gives us a little more room. Now we want to go to the Home tab and Justify, which is also Control J. And now everything is smooth on the right side, and we want to save our document. Now we're on activity 3.17 on the bottom of page 258. I'm going to insert a column break that will force the text to the beginning of another column. So right here, harvesting daylight. Okay, we want to position the cursor to the left of harvesting daylight. We want to push that up to the top of the next column, so we need to insert a column break there. So let's go to page layout, go to breaks, and let's do a column break, and that will push it up here. And there's a hidden character that is visible now because we've got our hide show button pushed in, telling us that this is the end of a column. And now we want to insert an online picture. We want to do a Control Home to go to the top of the document. And then we want to go to Insert and Pictures. And I picked the wrong thing. I don't want pictures. I want online pictures. And I do not get the clip art option here. I don't know if I've missed a setting or something, but it doesn't really matter a whole lot. What we're looking for is recycling bottles. And enter. And we may not get the one that he came up with, but we can pick a similar one. And so let's pick a similar one here and click on Insert. And there's our picture, and I think we got kind of lucky there. Frequently you'll get a really large picture and you'll have to resize it. Now we want to go to the end of the document, and we're on the number 5 on page 260. So it says Control N, go to the end of the document, which I just did. On the Insert tab, we want to find a green recycling symbol. So let's go to Insert and Online Pictures again, and this time type in green recycling symbol and hit enter. And we're going to take the first one that comes up here. Click on Insert. And this one is huge, and it's got handles on it, and the picture tools are visible up here now. And we want to set the height of this to 0.5. So that's a lot of spinning on the button there, so I'm just going to type in 0.5 and tab. Can't tab out of there. Click out of there. And now let's scroll down to the bottom of our document again. And there's our recycling picture. And we want to go to select this, and under our layout options we want square, which is the first one here, and that'll bring this text back up again. Okay, and then they want us to do horizontal alignment, and they want centered. So let's do, I think we can just do this here, and that's what we'll get. I'm going to flip back right now to the beginning of this and see if that's what it looks like. No, it's not what it looks like. So I'm going to hit the Enter key here and move that down to a new line, and then I'm going to center it. And you notice I can't do that now. Let's try dragging it up here. It is anchored to that paragraph. And go to our picture tools and align center, which will do it left to right. And that's easier, I think, than what he suggests in the book. I really don't think you're ever going to use the stuff he talks about in the book, where you go to position here and you go to more layout options and you get this dialog box. You may do that occasionally, but it's easier to do it this way because you see what you're doing than it is to go in there and try and guess what the numbers are, unless you want something right up against one of the margins. So I prefer just doing it like this, and go here and choose center, align center, and it'll get center is left to right. If you do align middle, that's top to bottom. So now we're on activity 3.19. On page 261, we're going to do Control Home to go to the top of the document, and click the recycle bin and to select it. And they want us to crop it. Well, there's really nothing to crop on this one, but if you did, yeah, that was a big picture. I'm going to delete this. I'm just going to try to go back and see if I can find something else that might be more similar to what they have in the book. So let's go to Online Pictures, and let's go to Recycling bottles. They should have given us that picture along with the other book files so that everybody is doing exactly the same thing. And what I want here is, something that I could easily crop without chopping off an important part of the picture. And I'm not really seeing much of anything here. Let's try recycle bottles. And that didn't help much. Let me see. Let's try some more stuff here. And yeah, this isn't working out very well. I'm going to try this one though. Okay, because I can crop some bottles off the end of that without any problem. And this one's also a lot bigger. So so we're going to crop it and resize it. With your picture tool selected, the handles are around the picture, and what we want to do is in the size group, we want to click the crop button, and that puts the crop handles, these little black lines here, and I'm going to crop it until it is, crop off those 3 pictures right there, and to finish it, just click on crop again. Okay. And now what I want to do is I want to size it, and they have us typing in the number 10 here for the size. I'm not sure. Okay, so on the size tab under scale, okay, we got to click on the dialog box launcher first. And now on the size tab under scale here, here's an important option. The lock aspect ratio will make sure that you don't stretch the picture. And select the number in the height box, type 10. So here's the text in the height box, type 10. Well, if I type 10 in there, it's going to be humongous. And I don't think we want that. So I'm going to undo that with a Control Z. And it says compare your screen with figure 3.35. And oh, the height scale was 10. Let's try that again. %. Click on OK. And now it looks like that. And if you want to resize, if you know, to make it look exactly the way you want it to look, just go in here and grab the handles. Let's say you want to make it a little bit bigger. That's all you have to do. We can also do a transparent color, and again with the picture I've got, that's not going to work very well. If you want a transparent color, will remove the background for you, and since that doesn't really work on this picture, I'm going to skip items 1 and 2 and 3 on page 263. Then I want to go to the end of the document on number 4, do a Control End, and I want to select the picture, and on the Format tab in the Adjust group, so I adjust over here. I've got some color options, and they want you to choose the last row, the 4th option, which is olive green, and boy, that really makes it a whole lot lighter, but we'll go ahead and do that. And adjust the brightness and contrast of the picture. That is also up here under corrections, and we want the last row, the first setting, that's this one right here, and that's what our picture looks like. Now, if you look at the picture in the book does not have a background. When we did that, we got a background here. And somebody used this one to demonstrate getting rid of the background. So that's going to be under color here, and set transparent color, and then you can pick a color here. Now the problem is that if it's off by just a slight shade, then it doesn't work. So there's another option here called remove background, and it always comes up with these handles. I'm going to zoom in here, and quite a bit, and now these handles almost always need to be moved back out to the edge, and when you move them back out to the edge, it usually makes it easier. Now everything that's purple here is going to be deleted, which means I'm going to delete 2 of my arrows as well. So I want to mark some areas to keep. So you just drag your mouse over the stuff you want to keep here, and sometimes this is easy, sometimes it's not, but that looks like it did the trick for us. Then click on Keep Changes, and now we've just got the recycling arrows and no background. And this is getting kind of long, so we're going to stop right here, and we'll pick it up on the next video.